Welcome to PHT in the Morning with your host, Pastor David Miller from the Pentecostal Holiness Tabernacle in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of PHT in the Morning with Pastor David Miller. I'm Pastor Miller, so we'll be your host here for the next 18 or 20 minutes. And we hope we can be a blessing to you this morning. And we are on the second session of our three-part series about choices, chances, and changes. And this morning, we're going to be talking to you about chances. And there's some great scriptures I want to give you in just a moment here about this subject. But I first was going to give you just a few meanings of the word chance or chances. And there is several of them here, so I'm going to give you just a few. And one meaning of the word chance is a possibility of something happening. Another meaning is the possible occurrence of something taking place or happening without an obvious design. There's another meaning that means to find or to see something by accident. And another meaning is something taking place without any apparent cause. And there's another one here or the word happening by chance rather than design, or the word fortuitous. So that's the word fortuitous means to happen by chance rather than design. So I want to give you a few of those meanings here this morning before we start out in this particular episode. So we want to go first with you this morning to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter number 9, verses 10 through 12. And verse 10 says, "Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest. I returned, and I saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill. But time and chance happeneth to them all." So, time and chance happens to everyone. And I have preached on those verses before, and this phrase, I think it's simply telling us that when it says time and chance happens to all, it's just like saying it's one of those things that's going to happen. So, or it's a possible occurrence of something happening without an obvious design. Maybe here it says to find or see something by accident. Now as we go through our scriptures, we'll find how these meanings of the word chance will really show up and have a better understanding of that word and its meaning. So, time and chance happens to everyone. So, we know that we're going to have those things happen in our life, our chances, our opportunities are going to happen to every single one of us. It's not will they happen really that I'm concerned about, but what I want to ask each one of you listening today is, what are you going to do with your chance or your opportunity? Now, there's some great scriptures I'd like to go over with you here in the book of Luke, chapter number 10 and verse number 25. And please stay with us for the next few minutes. This is some great verses here. And we'll see how that This man, one man rather, of the three, when he had his chance or his opportunity, he took full advantage of that opportunity or his chance to do something good. Luke chapter number 10 and verse number 25, the Bible said, "And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him," meaning tempting Jesus, saying, "Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life?" And he said, or Jesus said rather unto him, "What is written in the law? How readest thou?" And he answering said, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself." And Jesus said unto him, "Thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live." But he, willing to justify himself, said unto Jesus, "Who is my neighbor?" And I want to talk to you about that again today here myself. We look at that and we say, well, then really who's my neighbor? That's really, you could say that today, but we're going to find out who it is actually here. So Jesus answered and said unto him in verse 30, "A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment and wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. And by chance," there's that phrase, by chance, "there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. And likewise a Levite, when he was at that place, came and looked on him and passed by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him, and he went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn and took care of him. And on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence and gave it to the host, and said unto him, Take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee. Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was neighbor unto him that fell among thieves?" And then the lawyer answered and said to him, "The one that showed mercy on him." And Jesus said unto him, "Go and do thou likewise." So I told you we're all going to have our opportunities. We're all going to have our chances. And I want to talk to you a little bit about this story now today. The Bible tells us, first of all, the man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho. I read a little bit about this road that he was on from Jerusalem to Jericho, and that was a highway or a road that many thieves and robbers used to ambush their men and women that came by that way. It was a downward road of many miles, and there was so many robberies and so many people that was beaten on that road, that road was actually called in that day the Bloody Way. So it was popular for these type of things taking place. Now, there was a man, as he traveled that road, the Bible said he fell in among thieves. Now, I don't think this didn't happen on purpose. This was something that just happened, it was by chance that he fell in among those thieves. And when they found the man, the thieves and the robbers, they took that man and they beat him, they wounded him, and then they left. leaving the man half dead. So no doubt he was robbed, as well as being beaten and wounded, almost beaten to death. Now, by chance, verse 31, notice that, and by chance. And that's what we're talking about, chances this morning. By chance, there came down a certain priest that way. Now, remember, we gave you the definition of the word chance, a possibility of something happening, or a possibility of an occurrence without an obvious design, or to see or find something by accident. Now, that priest didn't walk by there purposely looking for something, but by chance, he came by that way. And when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So he wasn't expecting this to happen, but by chance he saw it. By chance, there was an opportunity for him to help this man. But he never took advantage of his opportunity or his chance. He passed by on the other side. Likewise, a Levite, when he was at that place, the Bible said he came, and notice verse 32, he looked on him. So there's no way to say, I thought it looked like a man that was beaten. Maybe it really wasn't. He knew this man had been beaten and robbed because he came and looked at him, and he passed right by on the other side. So he looked at his opportunity. He looked right at his opportunity, and he walked right on by. But then the Bible said a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came to where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him. I'm going to stop just 1 second here. We noticed the Bible said it was a certain Samaritan. And for those of you that's listening and you've heard the term the Good Samaritan, well, the Bible doesn't really say this here. He was a good Samaritan in these verses. It just said he was a Samaritan. The reason we call him a good Samaritan today was because of the good deed and the good things he done with his chance or his opportunity. Now, when he came and saw him, he had compassion. That is the number one thing we must look at today. He had compassion. And the Bible said he went to him. He went to where he was. He didn't avoid this man. He didn't walk on by, but he went to where he was and he bound up his wounds. This man was willing to try to help heal the man and take care of his wounds. He poured in oil and wine, or all he could find in medicine-wise was, I guess, oil and wine, and he poured that in on those wounds. And then he set him on his own beast, or his own means of transportation. And he brought him to an inn and took care of him. So what did he do with his chance or his opportunity? He picked up the man, he bound his wounds, he poured in the medicines, set him on his own means of transportation, took him to an inn, and not only left him there, but he took care of him. But on the morrow or the next day when he had to leave, he took out 2 pence or money, gave it to the host, and said, take care of him. Whatsoever he spends more, when I come, I will repay. So there was 3 men there. 3 men. Only one seized the opportunity. Only one took the opportunity when he was given a chance to do something good. I thank God when I read this story for that Samaritan. What a great thing that he done. Now the lawyer, he said to him in the end, who do you think was the neighbor? And he said, the one that showed mercy. Now, I want you to notice this. And this is the thing I really like in verse 37. That verse ends like this. Jesus said, go and do thou likewise. So we're talking about chances this morning. So I said earlier, we're all going to have our chances because let me remind you, Ecclesiastes chapter 9, the Bible says there, time and chance happeneth to all. It happens to everyone. So you will have a chance. You will have an opportunity to do something to help someone else to do the right thing. And it's up to you if you're going to take advantage of it. You can just pass on by like the priest and Levite, or you can go and do like the Samaritan and do something good when the opportunity presents itself. So Jesus said, go do thou likewise. I guess what my final words will be to you in this morning's segment of this podcast is go and do likewise. When the opportunity, when you find that chance, maybe today, maybe this week, maybe next week, who knows exactly when, but you will have a chance. You will have an opportunity. When that comes, if you don't take the words of Pastor Miller, take the words of Jesus Christ himself. Go do thou likewise. Go do thou likewise, or go do the same thing. This morning, I want to take every opportunity, or I want to seize every opportunity, every chance that I have to do something good for someone else. Well, I hope that we've been a help to you or a blessing to you this morning in these few short minutes that we get to share with you about chance. And next week, we're going to be talking to you about changes that maybe we could make. I'm sure all of us could make changes for the better. But take opportunity. Take advantage of your opportunities, your chances. This is Pastor David Miller, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. And I pray for God's blessings upon every single one of you that hears me this morning. God bless. And until the next episode of PHT in the Morning, this is Pastor Miller saying goodbye.